Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your relationship reading for the month of July for the elemental energy of Earth. Earth. And Earth covers the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if you're a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or have Earth high up in your chart, this message is for you. If you've never had your chart read, there is a link in the description for a natal chart through Llewellyn. It's just your base 12 houses with all little signs and symbols, so you can check that out. It's not sponsored or anything like that. The other links are affiliate links, so when you click through those, it does support the channel. How I like to do my relationship readings is we look at the singles first, then we look at those in a relationship. We start off by figuring out what chakra is lighting up and what kind of a lesson's going on there, and then we look at the Whispers of Love Oracle, get a little more tuned in on what we're looking for, and then we go to the tarot to get more clarification. So for our Earth singles, we are starting out with number 9, which is the flow energy. I feel this one is going to be your sacral chakra, but we'll find out here in a second. With the flow energy, I'm feeling that this is this call to not take life so seriously and not get so rigidly stuck in how patterns move forward. It's this energy of movement, of relief, of keeping things going the way they're supposed to be going. So it's a very strong energy in that respect, but it's getting into that flow state where yes, you have responsibilities, you have rules, you have this, you have that, but it's also time to really get quiet internally sometimes and see how things are playing out and go with the flow. So we are in our sacral chakra, which is just below the belly button, and your element here is water. So Earth, you and water actually get along really well, so this is good. After breathable air, water is the element most essential to life. It is widely used to symbolize emotions, intuition, and the depths of being. Deeply connected with waves of emotion, it is often bound with the importance of family and love, which is Earth's qualities. The birthing of life, tender-hearted communication, teardrops of sadness or joy, and the subconscious. And it can also relate to jealousy, envy, depression, or moodiness, and so you have to make sure you're picking the right side of water with that. So let's look at our keywords according to the book. Going with the flow, depth of feeling, expressing emotion, affection, imagination, experiencing moods, fertility, fantasy, and receptivity. So Earth singles, I'm really getting this energy that's coming in right now saying it is time for you guys to get more into that flow state, be more open with your emotions, at least to yourself, which is going to help make you more attractive to the person that you're wanting to draw in. But it's also an awareness of more of who you are, allowing you to be more self-aware so that you know what's going to trigger, you know what's going to bring that up, but you're also aware of looking back through your history and figuring out, I need to keep these things, the rest of that can go away. But you're doing that with that energy of flow. And when you tie water with earth, the ability to build a very strong emotional connection is opened up. So what I'm feeling for you right now, Earth, we'll get into the rest of the cards, Earth singles, is you're in the right mindset to attract if you're looking for that, or at least build upon something that's already maybe a friendship going deeper, or maybe it's just new friendships as well. But you're in the right mindset to draw that in, as long as you're aware of your emotions. So, your Whispers of Love Oracle is you are limitless. You can do anything that you choose. This is perfectly aligned with the flow energy, because when you start to really understand what it means to be limitless, to really step beyond, you get into that flow state where options open up, opportunities are always available to you, and this frees you from having to deal with other nonsense, other limitations, so to speak. So when you're getting into that flow state, you actually are opening up the doors to a greater future, and probably a future you didn't actually expect in the first place. So if you're actively looking for a relationship, tap into your intuition and see what comes up, because I'm feeling this is going to be a very strong month for you in that respect. And if you've got water and fire water and earth placements in your chart, this is going to be one of those like perfect duos for you. Your first card from the tarot is the King of Autumn. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and gifted. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything is going your way. A good person or company to work for. So this might be pertaining to work, is where you're going to meet the person, but the reality is when you tap into this more matured side of your emotions, where you're healthy, where you understand more, you're not going to solve it all in one day, so don't think that's where we're going here. But it's the choice to learn, to grow, and expand that makes you more attractive in that respect. You also have that compassionate and accomplished energy, charismatic. These are very much earth-water balance energies, so you are being called to work with the energies that you're native to, but also you might be drawing in a water that's going to complement you. And this is very appropriate for our earth singles. Your second card is a major arcana, and it's number 6, called the Lovers. True love that is long-lasting, choices made from the heart, and return to good health. So this could be a call for refreshing your health. It could be refreshing a relationship, but it's also this energy of coming together romantically. So I'm feeling that with you understanding more about yourself and being open to learn, it might just open the right door that you meet the person you're meant to be with, whether that is a coworker or just getting a new friend in general that turns out to be like your best buddy. You are in the right energy form for that to happen. And when you have these two together, the King of Autumn and the Lovers, it's saying you're going to gain these qualities. This compassionate, accomplished, and charismatic, and gifted. You're going to have those things coming forth, which is going to lead to the Lovers. You're heading in the right direction. It's also an energy of good luck. So if you happen to be single, just be aware that you don't have to force things this month. Things are going to line up as long as you're honest with yourself and you're willing to learn more about the emotional side and get more grounded in that. Earth singles, you're going to do well. So we're going to hop into our Earth couples. But before we do that, if you're new to this channel, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you happen to see something different in the cards, feel free to comment and let me know what you're seeing. I read intuitively, so it's always interesting to hear what other people have to say when they're seeing some of these cards and getting their own intuitive guidance. So when I read for the couples, it could be you personally watching this are the Earth sign. It could be Earth is your partner, so you're cross-watching to maybe understand them a little bit better. And then it could also be that between the two of you, you have very high Earth placements. Again, that is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So, getting ready to draw my last card, and then we will get going with our, as the cards try to fly out of my hand, Earth couples. There we go. And Earth, you are starting off your Earth couples with number 7, which is a challenge, and I believe this is going to be in your root chakra. We'll find out here in a second. But there's an elephant here in the center of this card right there. And the challenge is, how do you communicate when things don't go well within the relationship? Are you willing to find a balance between the 4 elements? Are you willing to look at things from a different perspective? This challenge that I'm feeling is it's not something simple, and it's something that you guys have dealt with before, but you've never shied away from it, so you're okay with dealing with it. But it's how do you deal with it? Are you aware of how you comprehend or work through these situations? So the challenge is actually the elephant is the spirit animal with this card, and it is Aravada is the name of the elephant, and this is in the root chakra. So this is foundational energy. The root chakra is basically at the very base of your body, behind the genitalia, where the perineum basically is. That's where the root anchors. There's people who have different views, but that's where I've usually seen it when I work with energy. So wherever it shows up down there for you, that's fine. We have a yellow square, which is a symbol for Earth, perfect example. In its center stands the white elephant Aravada, mount of supreme strength and celestial ascendancy. He has 7 trunks that correspond to all chakras, the 4 cardinal points or directions, which are colored blood red, these guys here. And they are linked with the petals of the lotus. Just one second. There we go. Each contains a Sanskrit syllable noting a different state of consciousness. one is joy, one is natural pleasures, one is controlling passion, and one is blissful in concentration. So Earth, this is going to be sensual in the term of your senses across the board are activated. Taste, touch, smell, sight, hearing. And Earth couples, sensual can play out a whole different way. You can eat a meal and engage all of your senses. You can also be with your partner and engage all your senses. So it's not just one aspect, but it's the ability to find pleasure through your senses, which you allow to amplify a spiritual path. So it's kind of a strong energy we have here. Your key words are defensiveness and worry, complaining, uncertainty, distraction, distress, or conflict. What I'm hearing with this, though, is it's not because it's going to trigger that. It's asking you to observe when these things occur. And I'm feeling that this could be some outside force that's trying to like poke at you too, so don't let them. And how do you keep your path of communication open to keep that at bay? Earth, air, fire, water, north, south, east, west, all the elements are balancing in this card, and it's all surrounding the basis of Earth here in the center with the elephant. So you are surrounded and protected by 4 different energies. You also have the ability to stand forward and not worry about what anyone else thinks. The challenge is sometimes what's coming in, what's pushing at you. Is it, too much work, not enough social time with your partner? Is it there's some other thing going on? That's where you guys have to come to that communication side of it. And this is setting a foundation. The root chakra is a primal energy. So you're setting the primal side of it down and you're getting it clear and clean. Again, foundation, Earth, this is all of you. So it's how are you establishing this? I don't care if you've been together for 5 months or 20 years. You can always go back and reset some stuff to build something new upon. And that's what you're being offered this month in July. Your Whispers of Love is the heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. When you build with a foundation, you start to see what's really happening. And I'm feeling like you guys are good, but there's something trying to pick at you. And that's where when you get to the heart of the matter, is that person really doing it maliciously? If so, ban them from your life. If they're doing it because they're just being dramatic, then that's a different story. But when you deal with conflict and challenges, how you do that brings you to the heart of the matter. And it also helps you see if there's other things going on. So Earth couples, you definitely have an interesting month here with the foundational energy, but there's someone who's trying to, that's a weird word. We're not using that one. We'll say attack. They have a different word for that. Your foundation, and so your strength and your communication and standing in that balanced energy is what's going to be your biggest asset. And it doesn't mean that they're doing it maliciously. It could be just a friend who's being a little flippant, and that's unnecessary type thing. So your first tarot is the 10 of Spring. Ask for help from others, all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. And the thing that could be attacking is too much work. Not enough of a connection between the two of you. And I said that earlier too, that it could be something as simple as working way too much and your relationship is like, yo, over here. Because you're in a relationship and that's permanent. Work is temporary. You're always going to find another job if you need to. So there's always those other options. But when we dedicate ourselves solely to just work, that becomes your partner. And coming from someone who is a workaholic, you don't want to do that because you're going to end up missing out on things at home. If you've got little ones, it's okay and it's actually recommended to take the time so you can go to the whatever sports ball you're playing, go to their performances and recitals and all that stuff. Take the time for that with your partner. That way you guys bond together, but you're also spending the time with the kid and you're separating that aspect of way too much at this thing over here, but that's not your relationship. The relationship is the part that feeds your soul, especially when you include God's source into that. That's what this is calling you to remember. Yes, there may be challenges. The heart of the matter is how are you dealing with it and how are you showing up when these things occur. And your last tarot card here is, you got the same card that the singles got, which is cool. It's number 6 with the Lovers. But for you, Earth couples, it is a time of recommitment for you. The words at the bottom are the true love that is long lasting, choices made from the heart, and a return to good health. But for you, I'm feeling that this is very specifically applying to bonding. It is a deeper connection. And when you have the divine source coming in to support this, the relationship really can't be destroyed at that point. And this is what's coming up in this reading is you may have some challenges along the way, Earth. That's life in general. But it's how you're showing up. You're standing on a foundation. You may have to reformat this a little bit. And then you have your protectors around you. Earth, air, fire, water, the 4 cardinal points. You can also see that as the 4 archangels, Michael in the south, Gabriel in the west, Uriel in the north, and Raphael in the east. So you have a lot of different ways to work with this, but it's about you're in balance, your couple, you and your partner are in balance, and that's allowing you to see what's going on and figure out what the heart of the situation is. Are they really being malicious, or are they just being bored and annoying? And if that's the case, bored and annoying can go find a new hobby. Maybe introduce them to one of your single friends and they can go play over there. That way you're not involved in it anymore and they can have their own chaos. But you also have your 10 of spring that's coming in here saying you don't want to overwork. You don't want to overextend. The relationship is the one that you want to support and grow with, and that should be the focus. You work so that you can live life. You're not here to live just so you can work. That's a weird way of looking at life. Trust me, I've done it myself a few times. So you want to make sure you're on the right path and you're doing the right things for the right reasons. And then that brings to the lovers, where you take that to a much deeper level and you're able to really connect with each other better. So Earth, couples and singles, you have got a very interesting month. There's a lot of movement going on here for you, but it's also about understanding of self in the couple situation, of the dynamic of the relationship, and then that's allowing you to see more clearly what's really happening and how are you going to make that manifest into a healthy situation for each and every person watching this. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your month. Earth couples, don't forget your relationship. That's the most important thing. Earth singles, figure out a little bit more, or at least put your intention to learn more about yourself and see how things change. With that, I'll let you guys go. Have a great rest of the month, and I'll see you in the next video.